Oh, sweet Jesus. That was a hard watch. In this rather downbeat video, I'm going to explain how Trent Alexander-Arnold inverting into midfield has caused us so many structural problems, and in particular how it's impacted Mohamed Salah. I'll be talking about all of the problems that come with Darwin Núñez playing as a centre forward, and I'll also be discussing some of the atrocious individual performances from tonight's game. Liverpool, in typical Liverpool fashion this season, started the game so poorly. That's the 16th time in 34 games that we've gone behind. In the first 20 minutes, we were giving away cheap free kick after cheap free kick against a team that's main threat is set pieces. I do think that Everton's players bought quite a few free kicks in the referee, but Alexis McAllister in particular dangles his leg out far too often. Pathetic attempts at winning the ball back. I've mentioned them before, and it's nothing new, but this Liverpool team are appalling in defensive transition. When we're in possession, the 2-8s, so Curtis Jones and the ever-anonymous Dominic Szoboszlai, look to break lines with their runs, which means that if the player on the ball doesn't get their pass right, it only takes one or two passes for the opposition to create a chance because we have only 2 or 3 players in what you would call defensive positions. Liverpool are so vulnerable to fast breaks. As I mentioned at the start of this video, I don't think we've ever looked as good a team since Trent Alexander-Arnold started inverting into midfield. I think it can work in games and he's perfectly suited to play in that quarterback-like position, but it's really hampered Mo Salah. The understanding that they had on that right-hand side was phenomenal. How many times did we see Trent pick out one of those classic out-to-in runs from Mohamed Salah? Whereas now, how often do we see Mohamed Salah just isolated on the touchline against the opposition's fullback? That's not his game, especially not now. I get that Salah's touch has deserted him recently. He's not striking the ball with any conviction whatsoever. He's really erratic in front of goal. But I think he might be frustrated with the role that he now plays in the team. And it's a role that does not suit him. There are confounding variables, of course. Darwin Núñez is not Roberto Firmino, who was so crucial to vacating space for Salah and for being like a wall that Salah could bounce passes off and get shots away inside the box. Salah hasn't looked himself, and instead of resorting to the shallow analysis of he's washed, I don't think the structure of this team facilitates what he's best at. Since Trent has stopped playing as a conventional fullback, it feels as if this team has lost their patterns of play. They're not systematic in how they attack teams. It all feels so off the cuff and erratic. Once again, not playing with a false 9 and playing with an out-and-out centre forward, insofar as you can call Darwin Núñez an out-and-out centre forward. This is such a huge impact, has had such a huge impact on the team as well. Especially because the 2 number 8s, so tonight it was Curtis Jones and Dominic Szoboszlai, they now have to narrow off and play in those half spaces where a false 9 would usually drop into. There are 2 individuals in particular that I want to highlight from tonight's game: Ibrahim Konate and Alexis McAllister. Why? Consistency. There are times when I think that they're world beaters, and then there are times where they look so average. In McAllister's defence, he was playing out of position tonight, but you still expect so much more from a footballer as technically gifted as he is. He also slows down the game far too much in attacking transition, especially against teams like Everton, who defend in a low block, and fast breaks, something that has always been a strength of Jurgen Klopp teams, are when you can really hurt teams like Everton, who send up their 2 big central defenders for every set piece. I can't make any excuses for Konate, rightfully hooked for Jarell Kwanzaa after such a naive performance against a centre forward who has had a really poor season. His defending at times tonight was proper schoolboy stuff. I could dig out so many more players from tonight's game. Andy Robertson and his end product. Awful. Szoboszlai's performances in general. Curtis Jones. Endo, his first touch when he came on, almost gave away a 3rd goal. Alisson for Everton's goal. Jesus Christ. I have to yet again as well single out and mention him again. Darwin Núñez. Shocking. Thierry Henry once said that the best strikers go ice cold when presented with a chance. Well, then Darwin Núñez must just boil over. How many big chances does he miss? And his all-round game tonight, 0 impact. He's big, he's strong, and he's fast, but so is Triple H, and he was never a Premier League footballer. Lastly, fair play to Everton. Brilliant performance, really well-deserved 3 points. I'm fairly sure that's them safe from the drop now, even if they're not mathematically safe yet. I can't comment too much on their performance, because when they were in possession, my focus was on Liverpool and Liverpool's shape. That's all from me. If you've watched the video to this point, thank you so much. Please do let me know what you agree with, what you disagree with in the comment section below. Give the video a like and do consider subscribing for more football related content. On my last video, over 90% of people who watched the video were not subscribed, so please do consider giving me some support. Cheers.